So, good morning, it's vlog 70 and it's early in the morning and all the water is ice. That's kind of fun. Let's try. You see? This is the weather I have to deal with. Fun. Today's weather is so cold that the entire house is also cold, so we have to make some fire to get some heat into the ovens and get some warmth. Actually, it looks really cool, right? It's about to start to cold burn, and I'm going to close the main door and you can see how it works. And now I'm going to close this as well to burn it a little bit slower. So let me show you how I study new coding, because like you can see, I don't have any curtains on that window, so I don't know how I have to stand to get some. Okay, like this. So let me show you how I practice coding, because it's how I learn it, because today I'm going to actually learn something new which I have never used before, and it's going to be super interesting. So this is the website where you can find, it's called Code Academy. Probably made more Code Academy, but it's close enough. And all these blue ones, I have to pay for it, but the green ones, those ones I can do for free. And I think I will start with this one, and let's check it out how the Python code actually looks like. Okay, certificate included only with paid plans. Don't have that, so going to do the free one and see how it goes. And let's see. It is. So let's read. If programming is the act of teaching a computer to have a conversation with a user, it would be most useful to first teach the computer how to speak. In Python, this is accomplished with the print statement. Okay, that makes sense. A print statement is the easiest way to get your Python program to communicate with you. Being able to command this communication will be one of the most valuable tools in your programming toolbox. Instruction number 1. Using a print statement, output a message of your choosing to the terminal. So let's do it. Print, let's say, let's say Discgolf is the best. I click here, run. You can see the message appeared here, and on the left side is showing me that the exercise number 1 is done. So I can move on to the next one. Okay, let's continue. There are 2 different Python versions. Both Python 2 and Python 3 are used through the globe. The most significant difference between the two is how you write a print statement. In Python 3, print has parentheses. Okay, that's interesting. Why do you need this? It's going to tell me. In this course, we will be using Python 2. If you go on to write Python 3, it will be useful to note this key difference. Print something using Python 3 syntax. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Print and this golf is really the best. Run. And you can see I finished my exercise and I can continue. Anyway, this is the way it works. I really am enjoying this because in the same time on the left side it's explaining things, and I'm really enjoying this. And I will do this exercise and then I will go to outside with this nice weather and and do some putting practice. Oh, even though the temperature is a little bit warmer than it was in the morning, it's still pretty cold, and the wind is, oh my god, so mean. The wind is extra cold, it makes it feel so bad. But I'm going to get active. I'm going to do putting practice. Oh, like you can see, my fingers, it's really cold. I cannot feel anything with my fingers right now. It's just 100 putts. It's like with the warm-up putts and everything, it's less than 20 minutes. And it feels awful. It feels awful. My face is red. It's so cold. And I just want to go make myself a hot tea and get warm again. With the feeling right now, I don't think I'm going to do any more training today because Sunday it's said like it's going to be the best day of this week. Had some nice days already. Hopefully it's not going to be as cold as this. It's right now the weather app is saying it feels like -5. It does feel like -5. It actually feels like -15 Celsius. But it is what it is, and just trying to survive. And yeah, trying to, even with the cold right now, I was emphasizing my movements, you know, stretching out, like full follow through. It's so cold, my mind is not working. Anyway, but I think like I was managing to straight out follow through really nicely, but the thing is like I was not feeling with my fingers. I don't know how to explain it. It like just even knuckles, I think this is still called knuckles, right? They don't feel like really moving right now. Just let's get inside. So Saturday, last night it started snowing. As you can see from my background, there's still snow around, even though it's melting. And tomorrow's forecast for the local league, it's showing +6. Right now it's -1. So different day, different weather, and it's funny, but it is what it is. Today also I'm not going to do anything special, just a little bit putting, and yeah, the weather is the way it is. Don't want to. Let's be honest. It's I think doing the online courses is a little bit more important right now, and yeah, go from there. It is Sunday, so that equals fun day. As you can see, the weather is actually amazing. The app is showing like little temperature, but the wind is so little that on the sun, I think it feels like +8 or something like that. It's local league. We're going to play the green layout, which is the more beginner friendly, which my discs are more suited for. And yeah, I think I'm going to set my goal to have at least the same level of game I had last time on this green layout in the local league, which is 2 down. If I get at least 2 down, I will be content, let's say. But the layout plays so much easier than the yellow layout, that actually 6 down, and anything more than 6 down I will be really happy with, because practice has been kind of hectic. I haven't seen it. Anyway, no more talk, and let's jump in. I started my league at hole 14 like the last times, and funny enough, the group I played with was the same. I played with Steve, Erkki and Martin. So my first shot, it was really good, but it was just too low. So I was short. For my birdie attempt, I missed it, let's be honest. And my comeback from bullseye was good. But Erkki made a really good birdie putt from, I think it's outside of the circle. And he had a decent tee shot, but it was way to the left. But a birdie is a birdie. On hole 15, I used my Latitude 64 fuse, which I got from last Samui Swine from Thailand. And my tee shot was actually close to extreme perfect. I landed inside the circle and my putt was relatively easy. I really like this birdie because it doesn't always work out that easy. Next up, we move to hole 16, which is the first of par 4s, at least for us. And for me, I had a really good tee shot. I followed it up with a really nice approach shot, which I was really happy with, but I leaked a little bit to the left, so my putt was a little bit long way off and I missed it. Inside putt to make it even, but what was impressive was Martin's birdie. He had a pretty decent tee shot, just like me. He was really close to my disc, and his approach shot was a little bit better than mine, but he skipped to the left as well, so he had a long putt as well. But he made his long putt and he was rewarded with a really nice birdie. Hole 17 is a hanging basket and can be very difficult on a windy day. Lucky we had a super calm day and I used my bus. Went a little bit too wide and long, but still had some kind of putt. One of my best putts I have done for a long time and a birdie. Really happy with it. Erkki and Steve also collect birdies, but they were closer than me, so I would say my birdie was a little bit better. No bias, I promise. Coming to hole 18, I was feeling very confident as lately in my casual rounds I have been collecting the birdies on this hole every single time. And of course, I missed my line completely. Luckily still somehow stayed inbounds. My approach putt was so awful and I landed way to the right of the basket. My good putt from last hole gave me a good feeling and had another good putt here and saved my par. Erkki was the only one in our group to collect the birdie as he hit the lamp post next to the basket. I wonder how close it was of going in. I guess we'll never know. In the last vlog episode I showed you how I play hole 1 and tried to do this again, but a little bit wider. Too wide I would say, as I hit the bushes. My approach shot did not work as I planned in my head. I wanted a bit more angle, but during the flight I already knew that it's probably going to mean bogey. From the trees I did not have any look to even try to save my par and just pitched out. Luckily I made my bogey putt. On hole 2 I really wanted to bounce back. On this downhill hole we had a small tailwind, and with my zone I just did not put enough power on it as I was thinking the wind would push it. It did not, and I was very short of the basket. Outside circle I was feeling the pressure and pit and missed my birdie putt and ended up with a simple par. Hole 3 we had the slippiest tee and I was worried about slipping. To compensate for that, I did throw more with my upper body, and that resulted that this to turn over too much. Caught the wind and just sailed over the fence on the right side. Distance-wise a good shot, but still OB. From there I did a simple layup and I had a normal 5-meter putt to collect my second bogey of the round that sadly put me back to even. Hole 4 was our second par 4 of the round, and Erkki had an amazing tee shot. He missed everything on the left and made it right up there. My shot was shaky after the last 3 holes and misreleased the disc, but had enough luck to miss all the trees and bushes. With an average upshot I put myself to a chance to get the birdie, but with this terrible putt, I had to say goodbye birdie. Had to accept with this sad par. What about Erkki? This is where he landed, and with a good putt, he collected this eagle. Have nothing else to say than just well done, Erkki. At this point, my confidence started to shake very strong, and on hole 5 he decided to do with a more overstable mid-range. Normally I use my bus, but with the bus you have to hit the angle extremely well, otherwise it could sail off to the right. With the quake I hit my line perfectly, but it was too short and sailed to the left between the trees. From there I had no look and just pitched up into the bullseye for my drop in par. On the next hole I was determined to get my game back on track with the birdie, but I think I was too determined. I slipped a little on the tee and it was enough to miss the release too early left into the worst spot on this basket. From that spot I had no other option than just to pitch out where the minimum you need off the tee. I released from there again, went too wide to the left and hit the tree at the top of the hill that left me way off the basket. My par attempt was good on line, but just a little bit too low, and I had to accept with my third bogey on this round. At this point I knew I'm not going to get a very good result from this round anymore, and just wanted to get back the feeling of playing at least good enough. I hit my line off the tee very well, but it was just a little bit too low again. Had a long look for my birdie, but was probably a bit too eager and hit the top of the basket. Another par sadly. But let's talk about Martin. He had this amazing tee shot that shaped so well on the fairway. He ended up tapping in for this birdie. Good job indeed. Hole 8 is a completely sidearm hole and I acted as well. My shot was maybe a bit too low again, but for sure it was too wide. I was lucky enough that it kicked at a tree in the end and did fall down in the bullseye. A simple tap in birdie is a good way to start playing good again, and I was happy with it. Coming to our next par 4, I had gained back some confidence but still wanted to play it safe. Off the tee I decided to control my shot more and it played well. I hit my line perfectly and progressed down the fairway really well. From there I had a tricky upshot from 25 meters away from the basket. But I hit that line perfectly again and ended up in the bullseye. This means 2 bullseye birdies in a row and just have to be happy with that. This layout has 5 par 4s and hole 10 was the last par 4 for our group. You remember the disc I drew over the fence on hole 3? This is the disc I normally play on this hole of the tee, but I was hoping my pipeline would do the trick. It went too much to the left, but I was lucky that it kicked back to the fairway. As you can see, I was happy with that. And that's usually my luck was short-lived, as the disc landed right in front of hole and I had no run-up. Standstill backhand was actually a good swing, but it was way too to the right and luckily low, so it stopped just in front of the OB line. For my long birdie look, again I slipped on my step putt and it sailed over the basket. For my backup I had this kind of funny looking putt, but luckily it went in and I was actually really content with it. On this hole birdies were collected by Erkki and Steve, which were actually really well played. Next up we had hole 11. That is probably the best chance for an ace. Martin really went for it, but sadly he missed the basket just by a little bit. On my tee shot I wanted to go a little bit more wide, but it stayed on the island, so it was good enough. I had a really good putt and was really happy with my 5th birdie of the round, as they have been coming difficult today. Hole 12 is the most plain hole on the course, with a big dog leg to the left. My shot was good, but it was too wide and already knew I'm not going to get close. Question was how difficult would be the approach. And it was very difficult. I found myself inside circle 2 but had no look for the basket, so I put myself as close as possible and just collected the easy par. And here we are already at the last hole of the round. Fist bumps all around, and thank you everyone in my group for having this fun disc golf round with me. It was a beautiful day and had some fun holes. The last hole I misreleased once again and went to the left side of the fairway. From there I decided to try to save the par with pouncing through the rough. Needless to say, it didn't work. Out of the rough and in for the bogey. Round finished. I'm not really happy with all the bogeys, too many missed stuff, but at least I can't remember right now if I had any bogeys where I actually missed putts, so that's already progress. My confidence off the tee was kind of slippy today, and right now I'm trying to retrieve the disc on this hole. Is there it is. So I'm going to pick it up and go get some food, and probably in the evening I'm going to do a second round, which is not going to change anything, just trying to get my feeling back. I need some new discs because the current discs, and sometimes they're too flippy. I think I need more higher speed discs than just speed 9. And yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. This finishes this episode of my vlog. I hope you like the way I did my recap about my local league, and hopefully see you next, guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye bye.